It's World Premiere Friday here at X-Play. We've learned exclusive new Unreal and Gears of War details from Epic Games' Mark Rain and the world broadcast premiere of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe.
Plus, we've got the first live demo of Sega's Iron Man and MMA superstar and video game addict Jen's Little Evil Pulver. X-Play starts right now. Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that got booted off MILF Island. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. We're coming to you from the G4 studios in Los Angeles on Friday, April 18th.
Now, later on, we'll lace up our gloves and get in the ring with some foxy boxers. It's a love upper and it's made in Japan. But first, Morgan's got a ton of breaking news in today's gaming update.
X-Play has learned new details regarding Epic Games' Unreal Tournament 3 for the Xbox 360. Though no release date has been announced, the 360 version will include 5 exclusive maps, 2 new characters, and a 2-player split-screen mode. Best of all, Epic VP Mark Rain tells X-Play the game will include an exclusive Gears of War nugget, and all of the downloadable content for the game that appeared on the PS3 and the PC will make its way to the Xbox Live Marketplace. The NPD Group has released their sales numbers for the month of March. Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Brawl topped the March charts by selling through 2.7 million units. Nintendo also sold more than 720,000 Wii consoles in the month of March, but it's the Nintendo DS that rules them all, with more than 19 million units sold in the US alone since its launch in November 2004. Judas Priest's Screaming for Vengeance will be the first official album to hit the Rock Band store next week. Harmonix has officially announced the 10-track album will cost $14.99. Individual tracks will also be offered for $1.99 a piece. Gamers can also look forward to the Cars' self-titled record release in May and the Pixies' Doolittle in June. And finally, Midway has announced a new Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe game. 4 playable characters have been revealed so far and include fan favorites Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Superman, and Batman. X-Play has learned that the game will feature around 20 total playable characters, heroes and villains from both universes. Gamers can expect to throw blows in traditional Mortal Kombat environments, as well as classic DC locations like Gotham and the Fortress of Solitude. For a first look at what's in store, here's the world broadcast premiere trailer of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. That's all for today's gaming update. Be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. But now let's go over to Adam, who's ready to step into the shoes of our favorite drunk superhero.
Yes, I am. Now, from Tales of Suspense number 39 all the way up to this summer's blockbuster, Iron Man has been entertaining us with his charm, his strength, and his inability to drive home. Tony Stark returns to consoles this May, and we've got a world premiere demo of the new game. Secret Level and Sega have teamed up to bring one of Marvel's premier superheroes to a console near you. In Iron Man, you'll take on the role of ultra-wealthy industrialist and inventor Tony Stark and battle evil in a huge open-world environment. The game's story covers the upcoming blockbuster film as well as the comic series and features voice talent from stars Robert Downey Jr. and Terrence Howard. Joining us today from Sega, associate producer for Iron Man, Andy Alamano. Thanks so much for dropping by and this exclusive brand new first special look at Iron Man.
Hey, thanks for having us.
So what is the level that we're looking at right here?
This is the Lost Destroyer. This is about halfway through the game. This is one of the missions where there is no frozen tundra mission in the movie, but in the game, this is one of the examples of stuff that we've pulled from some comic material, some of our own story plot that touches on the movie. The beginning of the movie is the beginning of our game, end of the movie is the end of our game, but in between, we were able to put some really unique stuff that you're only going to get in the game itself.
Now, what are some, like, at this point in the game, what we're looking at here, what are some of the weapons that we have available?
At this point, I mean, you've got Iron Man's classic repulsors are his major weapon that you're going to see, you know, in the movie. He's got his unibeam cannons he's going to fire right there. That's like a classic comic one that we took liberties with it in the game. He's also got a full range of weapons he can equip his gauntlets. He's got rockets, grenades, heat-seeking missiles, and stuff like that you can upgrade and change mission to mission as you feel needed. As well as that, but you know, the suit itself is a weapon. The melee combat that he's able to do is really astounding. You know, he can punch through, you know, tanks, planes, rip stuff apart. You can go up to a turret and throw it, you know, off of a cliff, all sorts of stuff like that.
Now, when you sort of punch a tank, I mean, is that just, you know, is that a single button press, or are we looking at some combos here?
He's basically got one button that's devoted to melee combat, which you can perform combos with. But then on top of that, you can see here he's going to rip this helicopter in half. He can basically go up to anything, grab anything, interact with anything, and each one has its own unique contextual action. As he goes with this guy, he's going to tear it in half. Boom. So everything you can do, everything in the game that's firing at you, you can go up to it and just rip it apart.
Now, this is an open world game, and we know that the demo level is kind of in more of a desert setting, and this is obviously a frozen tundra. How does everything sort of interlock? I mean, what are we looking at in terms of a map size?
The maps in this level are huge. They're all open. Everything is a battlefield. Every mission was come out with the idea, okay, this is a big war that you're coming into. We wanted you to feel like you're a one-man army, right? So we create a war zone, and then you come in, and then it's all there. You can go to any point that you see on the map at any point, you know, really quickly too, because it's speed. You're able to go so fast. But then as far as the objectives you have, that's what's going to bring you around the level. That's where you're going to decide, do I go over here and take this rocket launcher out? Should I try to take these tanks out over here? Should I, oh, this guy's in danger, I better protect him first. That's what's going to string you through the mission.
Now, one of the things that we've noted in games that do have both ground and air combat, that you're supposed to move between, it can be very challenging. We definitely saw that in the Superman game.
Right.
You seem to have gotten a very good handle on it right here. What are you doing? What did you overcome to make it work?
Well, the first thing we touched on, like I said, was the speed. We wanted you to be able to go up and down real fast. I mean, Iron Man's not just a guy who's a jet. I mean, he's got the qualities of a jet, a helicopter, and also this, you know, a tank, essentially, all in one. But on top of that, he's able to move really quickly. In the air, he can dash left, right, barrel roll. You know, he can catch missiles like you saw right there, which is really cool. He's also able to hover, and on top of that, you know, that you can go up and down really fast. And when you're on the ground, you've still got the speed of when you're in the air. You can still jet left or right or back really quick. You can still move around really quickly, and that's what you want to be able to do. And so that's really what kept us able to, you know, really not feel like you're bogged down when you're on the ground.
I guess the other thing is, Iron Man is so powerful.
Yes.
How do you create balance without compromising the integrity of the strength of the character?
Yeah, I mean, when you're making a superhero game, you don't want to make a game that you're running around and just, you know, everything's so simple. So with this, like I said, you're a one-man army. So what we're able to do is go, okay, hey, what's the one thing? A guy isn't going to be a threat to Iron Man. 100 guys will be a threat. So what we do is we really make these battlefields intense. You've got rockets coming at you, you've got tanks coming at you, you've got jets bombing you. So, and it depends where you're at in the battlefield. If you walk into a hangar, there might be a tank and some guys shooting at you. So if you go out of the hangar and fly up high, now you're dealing with fighter jets. So the threats are all over the place, and it's just intense.
It really is cool, and it sounds like the ultimate power fantasy. Andy, thank you so much for coming by and showing us Iron Man. Of course, the game is going to be in stores on May 2nd. But if you head on over to Xbox Live now, you can download a demo today. The PlayStation Network version will be live soon as well. And right now, let's take it back over to Morgan.
Thanks, Adam. The latest NPD sales figures reveal that Call of Duty 4 has already sold 9 million copies since November. There's no denying that a lot of the game's success has to do with the multiplayer component. This weekend, one MMA fighter wants to take you on in the field of battle, and he's here for some FaceTime. The Call of Duty 4 Live Fire Weekend Sweepstakes kicked off at 12:01 a.m. this morning and will run through Sunday night. This 72-hour play-and-win tournament lets Xbox Live users compete with the game's developers for bragging rights and prizes. On Saturday night, gamers will also get the opportunity to challenge WEC superstar and the 3-time UFC lightweight champ, Jens Pulver. Do you have what it takes to go head-to-head with Lil Evil? Joining us today from Iowa, current #1 featherweight contender in the WEC and video game enthusiast, Jens Pulver. Welcome to our show.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, the Call of Duty 4 Live Fire Weekend Sweepstakes begins today. It actually began this morning, and you will be participating tomorrow. And what time can gamers expect to see you, and what's your gamer tag?
Well, you know, I believe it's at 7:30 to 10 is when I'm supposed to be on, so to speak. But I got the game a few days ago, and I got to level up as fast as I can. So I've pretty much been playing this whole time. So, I mean, some people don't believe me, but it's COD4 Jens Pulver. I kind of hate seeing my name. I'd rather be like COD4 Little Evil, but I'll stick with Jens Pulver. But yeah, I've been on pretty much, you know, when I'm not training, I've been gaming, trying to get my leveling up as best I can. But my official time is going to be 7:30 to 10 o'clock, and then I'll be off just in time to watch St. Pierre fight Sarah. So it works out perfect. All right, so gaming and fighting on the same day.
It's a good day, right? Now, you're no rookie when it comes to gaming. I think people are going to think, oh, I'm just going to get on and I'm just going to own this guy. But you're actually an avid gamer, so what can players expect from you?
Well, you know, for me, I don't really have the patience to sit back and snipe, you know, even use the long barrels of G3 or something. I can't do that. You give me the MP5, give me some Bandolier, Juggernaut, or I kind of go with stopping power instead. I want the bullet damage, maybe steady aim, or, you know, the deep penetration. It doesn't really matter, but I'm a run and gun. I'm going to just, that's what I got to do. I got to stir things up, get them, you know, kind of get the pheasants up in the air and then let the shooters take them out from the back. So, no, I'm run and gun. I can't sit still. That's why I'll be that guy who has like 40 kills and 39 deaths, you know, but as long as I'm plus, I was good for the team, so it's good for me.
All right, well, it sounds like you're going to be a formidable opponent. Now, you also enjoy World of Warcraft, which is something a little bit near and dear to my own heart. Do you still play World of Warcraft when you're busy fighting schedule?
Well, you know, I mean, I played a lot. At one point, I was the Grand Marshal, so I had a lot of free time. Once I got into that whole PvP thing, I had to roll until I was Grand Marshal. What's really been, I mean, kind of what's really, you know, why I've stayed off it is I can't get into the raids. I can't do the guilds anymore because most people want to do their raiding time about 6:30 server time. And since that's Central Time, I'm in Iowa. I'm usually at the gym, so I miss all the raids anyway. So the only gear I could ever get is PvP. So, and I can just kind of do that on my own. But I'm going to keep my characters, keep my accounts active because, you know, the Lich King's coming out, and I got to get to level 80 just like everybody else. I may not raid, but I'm going to get to level 80, you know.
How'd you get the nickname Lil Evil?
Yeah, you know, surprisingly, it's got nothing to do with fighting. It's day in and day out, training here with Pat Militich and everybody when we were coming up. I've been told that I can be grumpy in the mornings. I don't know. But so one day I was just getting rolling and Pat's like, ooh, we ain't you a little evil guy today. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. When I went and fought John Lewis, I knocked him out real quick. And so I go, I like that nickname. We're keeping that. And so Little Evil was better than Pulverizer because everybody asks, you know, what's up with Pulverizer? How come you didn't keep the Pulverizer? I'm like, yeah, my name's Pulver. You know, that's too simple, too easy.
It's too
so
obvious.
I love Little Evil, and rather than having, Little Evil, I'd rather just L-I-L Evil, you know?
Thank you so much for joining us today, Jen.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then if anybody knows, if you want to check up more about this fight and what's going on, just go to jenspulver.com, and we'll be writing and blogging every day, so keep you guys informed.
Awesome, thank you. Now, good luck in the COD tournament tomorrow, and of course, in the biggest event ever in the history of the WEC, Pulver versus Faber, live June 1st, only on Versus. Head back over to Adam.
All right, well, that man does kick ass and play games. Thank you, Morgan. Now, one of our younger fans occasionally takes the time to tell us his thoughts on games and how they impact his life. His horrible, sad little life. Here's Marvin.
Hey everyone! Wouldn't it be great if Mass Effect were real? I'd just love to catch some of those keepers under a big glass. They look like the bugs my grandpa has in his basement. All muscular and hairy. I'd definitely be a paragon instead of a stupid renegade. Then I'd use my biotics and tell that mean old Theron to take a hike, sir. Plus I get to ride in an elevator. For a long time. You know, I was able to do something with the Quarian in the game that I didn't really understand until I saw my mom do it with 6 different people last week. She promised she wasn't hurting, no matter how much she cried. And now we get the sparklets water for free!
Coming up on X-Play, we step into the ring for some foxy boxing and check out Love Upper. It can only be made in Japan. Then we have the virtual audience over for a little chat. You don't want to miss it. Yeah.
G4 X-Play.
Are celebrities worth more in one piece, or should we sell them for parts? Filter begins in 60 seconds. Hi, I'm Olivia Munn. The world throws so much at you, you need a filter. Celebrities have been insuring their body parts for ages. Here are my 3 favorites. In third place, country singer Dolly Parton once insured her breasts for $600,000. How much is that per pound? More recently, R&B chanteuse Mariah Carey had her legs insured for a cool $1 billion. Crazy is as crazy does. And finally, Tom Jones insured his chest hair for $7 million. If you don't know who Tom Jones is, ask your mom, but be warned, what you hear may alter your perception of her forever. Hit me up on the web at g4tv.com/filter. Until next time, I'm Olivia Munn, and I got a lift.
And get your free gift. It's unanimous. Fans and critics agree Attack of the Show is time well wasted. One of the coolest shows on TV, more ballsy in its journalism than 60 Minutes.
What will the fanatical religious right hate more? The fact that there's witchcraft in the book, or that there's a gay headmaster?
AOTS doesn't push the envelope, they lick it. Yeah! I attain techno bliss.
I think you should just take it out and show everybody what you got.
The show that gets it before it gets out. Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7 and 10, only on G4.
Welcome back to X-Play. 2 women step into the ring, only one leaves. Grab a ringside seat for this million-yen baby. It's Foxy Boxing. It's called Love Upper, and it could only be made in Japan. For ones who actually can judge a game by its cover, Love Upper is essentially Foxy Boxing for the Japanese video game market. In this mammary Mardi Gras, you get to choose from a gaggle of 3-dimensional renders who must lightly punch one another into submission. After each match, the winner pipes up and speaks. You can only assume she expressed displeasure about her representation as an offensive sex object. We hope. Oh look, this one is wearing cat ears. That's adorable. Yes, the cast of Love Upper is so skanky, they make Tila Tequila seem demure. But in all fairness, we can't recommend importing this game. Now, I know you see this sexy lady in a leopard bikini and think to yourself, that's something I want. Oh look, she's presenting. Anyway, please let me try and talk you out of purchasing this one. You see, the actual gameplay is terrible. 3D boxing games like this require precision controls in order to maneuver your brawler, but there's nothing precise about the robotic movements here. And the graphics aren't anything to write home about when compared to the Dead or Alive franchise. Frankly, these character models aren't that unique, even when they slap a sexy nurse outfit on them. Its ugliness is even more apparent when you look at the 3-frame animation crowd. Why does this guy keep shifting around in his chair like that? Look, if you really need a masturbate to a video game, make it Animal Crossing. At least that way your parents won't be mad when they walk in on you. They'll be confused. And maybe supportive. At least that was my experience when it happened to me last week. There's a lot of great things about Japan, and this is definitely not one of them. Stay away. You've been warned. Love Upper is so odd, so sexist, and so plain old aberrant, it must have been made in Japan. All right, don't forget, starting April 28th, we'll have 5 days of world premieres, hands-on demos, and exclusive interviews.
It's X-Play's Summer Games Preview. Check out g4tv.com/summergames for info and updates.
Now, when X-Play returns, we welcome the virtual audience into the studio.
We'll be right back.
G4 presents an epic conflict for gaming's most controversial world record, The King of Kong, June 1st, only on G4. Viewer cast.
Welcome back to X-Play. It's Friday night, and I feel like we need to talk. So why not grab some real estate and let's hash this out?
Virtually, of course.
Yeah.
Please welcome our virtual audience. Joining us first is Justin for the Lone Star State. Justin, what's your question?
I was wondering which system's going to have the better Star Wars Force Unleashed game? The Wii version with the dual mode or the next-gen system?
The Wii's technically a next-gen system.
Yeah, it is.
Right,
it's part of this new generation.
We get what you're saying. We're actually going to find out a lot more about this very soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to go and play all the different versions, and then I'll report back about, you know, sort of our first-hand impressions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's going to be featured in our Summer Gaming Preview Week,
Yeah.
actually on the Friday of that week and the Thursday of that week. So you can look at them for yourselves. But right now, I don't think we know enough. I'd say get both.
You have nothing but money, right? Next up is Jarvis. What can we do for you?
My question is, do you think Fable 2 will live up to its expectations?
I'm curious. Do you? I'm really just curious right here.
I kind of do and kind of don't. Had fun playing last game, but last time dude said it'll be the greatest RPG ever, and I didn't get that from the game.
No one got that from the game.
It is a very dangerous statement to say some of the things that he said, and I think that he has actually learned from his past experiences. You get everybody so hyped up, and they're going to be inevitably disappointed. Whereas if you just say, hey, I'm going to make a fun game that you're going to enjoy playing for a few hours, then, you know, maybe you'd be pleasantly surprised. And I think he's learned from that. Not as much hype this time. Everything that's actually he's saying, he's trying to show.
He's showing. Thank
Right.
you, Peter Molyneux, for that. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to end. It's not going to be the game to end all games.
No.
I think it'll be a good game, though. So.
Is any game the game to end all games? I mean, no.
Checkers. And up next, Mike wants us to look to the future. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, what do you guys think is going to be the most promising game of 2008?
Whew,
There's a lot of stuff to be excited about this year.
I mean, I think the one that I'm most excited about is Fallout 3. I loved Oblivion. I love Fallout. This is a marriage of two things that make me happy.
You know, I'm actually really looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 4, which is weird for me. It's not the kind of game that I would usually like, but hey, I think it looks cool.
All right, thanks to our virtual audience for all of your questions.
We have got another solid week next week. Here's what's coming up on the show.
Next week on X-Play, buckle up because we'll review the most realistic racing game ever, Gran Turismo 5 Prologue for the PS3. Plus, we've got an exclusive preview of Edward Carnaby's rebirth in the highly anticipated survival horror game Alone in the Dark. All that plus new details will be revealed about world premieres for X-Play Summer Games Preview Week. You don't want to miss it.
In addition, we're going to have a review of NBA Ballers Chosen One.
See you next week. Thanks for watching.